In a world where the marks think they know better than the wrestlers and the bookers, the Fantasy Booking Institute exists to pretty much do exactly that. This is a visit from the FBI.
This is Dan the Dad, and you should listen to Raw and Order or you're grounded.
Welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Booking Institute, your weekly source for pro wrestling fantasy booking. I am your host, Detective Mark Smarks, and I'm joined, as always, by my partners in crime fighting, District Attorney Vincent K. Fabe. What's going on, man? How are you?
You see this?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm apparently 17 again. I had the worst zit. It hurt so bad.
We all go through it, my friend. Also joining us, RCMP JLB.
Hey,
What's going
hey.
on, man?
To be
He actually
17 again. I wish. Fuck.
What would change in your life if you were 17 again, JLB?
Probably
I mean,
nothing. That's probably why I'm so depressed at 30.
30. Hold on, time out. You're not 30.
I am a bit
30.
older than 30. I'm a bit older than 30. Can't just let me have that 30, huh? Can't let me have the 30. God damn it. But good, man. Can't complain. Same old. Pretty decent Raw. Well, at least for like the first half.
Looks like we had a little emoji party, but
We did have a little bit of emoji party
Yeah.
going on there.
That was kind of cool.
I also would like to point out that StreamYard has had a problem displaying the emojis before, and they must have updated and fixed it. So,
Oh, snap. Yeah, it's true.
anyways, this is your Fantasy Booking Institute, where we talk fantasy booking and play fantasy-based wrestling games, and have all sorts of fun with that. We had our review of Extreme Rules over the weekend.
Or Elimination
Chamber. Yeah, that my brain's already meh. But someone was at Elimination Chamber.
Damn, Skip, still on that Elimination Chamber high. Woo!
So, since you've now been to both a SmackDown and an Elimination Chamber, premium live events, bigger deal? Did you feel it more there?
Well, there's a lot more people at actual pay-per-view than an actual SmackDown or a Raw for the most part.
Weren't they in
Especially same building, but there was a lot more people. There was literally 2,000 more people on the Elimination Chamber. Yeah, it was 15,000 something for SmackDown and 17,000 for Elimination Chamber, which, by the way, we done broke records. Eliminate the highest grossing Elimination Chamber, biggest gate for an Elimination Chamber, and all that fun stuff. So Montreal done did good, and we apparently also sold like a shit ton of merch. Well, we bought a shit ton of merch at the show as well. So I would like to think that we're probably going to get maybe something bigger next time around. Not Mania, I doubt it, but.
Side note, I'm going to go ahead and call out WWE for this. Omaha, Nebraska has an auditorium that seats that many people. In fact, it seats 22,000 if there's not a court in the middle of it. Motherfuckers, come and do a premium live event for us.
He has
Will you
points.
be as loud
There
as
are
the
points.
Montreal crowd?
No, you guys rocked it. Like,
Yeah,
you guys were straight
fucking-
up Kansas City Chiefs fans during an NFL game. Like, that was crazy.
Yeah,
Pretty wild.
We don't have no hometown boys in Nebraska for.
In Nebraska, no, none, zero.
Well, I mean, Sting's technically from Omaha.
Oh, okay.
Ted DiBiase is from Omaha.
Okay, so we don't have any active hometown boys.
In WWE, that's fair.
Mad Dog Vachon was from Omaha.
What? In what lie do you speak these words? What do you mean? Mad Dog Vachon was Quebec, a Quebecer, man.
Give me a
We're
second.
not
Maybe
playing
I'm
this
thinking
game.
No, give me
It
a
can't
second
be
here.
Mad Dog. It can't be Mad Dog.
Give me a second here.
Why do we have a mad dog on this podcast? I'll throw a fit.
But no, man, still on the high of Elimination Chamber. I think Ottawa did pretty good.
Dave
I know
Sullivan was from Nebraska.
Evad, he was actually my college offensive coordinator for 2 years. It was the worst offense I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my God.
Gorgeous George was from Nebraska.
There you go.
So now, if you want to know what college team I played for in football, you can look up Dave Sullivan and see where he was a.
Baron von Raschke was from Omaha. Bearcat Wright was from Omaha.
Any relation?
Who knew?
No.
I know your grandparents' last names was right. So
Yeah. Mantar was from Omaha.
Oh, that was the okay. I remember Mantar. Oof. So in terms of title contenders, Ted DiBiase and Sting were from Omaha.
PN News was from Omaha. Name I haven't heard in a long time.
RJ Cities actually stands for Omaha. That's Omaha's nickname is RJ.
Yep. It's the rusty jacket city.
All right, so this is FBI.
So the rules are simple. We're going to take time to take turns challenging each other to do something vaguely wrestling related. We don't discuss them in ahead of time because we think it's more fun, but often because we haven't actually thought of it ahead of time. I always open the floor for others to start if they would like to. I will do that again this time. Mostly
You didn't answer my question before the podcast. Do you want me to or not?
I said you don't need to change anything. It's fine.
Okay.
So I will go first.
Okay.
And I have and I went off camera because I also have to get a list. But I would like you guys to play a game called Takeaway. So what this game consists of is I'm going to give you 2 moments, 2 matches, and you have to take one away from wrestling history so that it never, ever happened. So, and hopefully I do this right.
I'm proud of you for trying to invent a game. That's fun.
No, thank you. I thought of this within the last hour, though, so I didn't get a whole lot of chance to prepare for it. But I will.
I will take a moment to clarify where I got Mad Dog Vachon. He lived his life in Omaha later, but he was indeed born in Canada. So he's not from Omaha. You're right. But
Okay,
he
that's
has very close ties to Omaha. He considered himself an Omahan.
Okay. Omahian.
Omahan.
Oh my gosh.
Alrighty. So for the first one.
Okay. Explain the rules again because I was in the middle of searching and I want to make sure I don't do it all wrong.
Okay, that's fair. So the game is called Takeaway. I'm going to give you 2 moments in wrestling, 2 matches in wrestling, or 2 things overly in wrestling, and you have to take away one of those.
And by takeaway, like erasing from history, it never happened.
Yeah.
It never
Okay.
happened.
Just want to make sure I'm understanding. Okay. Go.
Alrighty. Okay. So we will do Undertaker versus Mankind, Hell in a Cell. Or Mankind versus The Rock at Royal Rumble.
That's the 11 chair shots from hell.
Yeah.
You want this one or you want me to take this one? I think we're going to agree.
We're going to agree that we don't want to see 11 chair shots from hell ever again.
Well, here's the deal. I'll play this a little bit different. So that's the one you want?
I think so. I mean, I have my issues with the Hell in a Cell. But we can talk about that.
I'm going to play this different, and the reason I'm going to play this different is I don't have the Hell in a Cell, and the reason I don't have the Hell in a Cell is it's the reason we have 11 chair shots. It's the reason that we try to find a person who can take the most abuse and is willing to take the most abuse to get the biggest spot, to have them potentially go through the Hell in a Cell or off the Hell in a Cell. That matches the reason that we do those things. And for that reason, I'm going to take that one away.
Okay.
And I think we could have still done some amazing spots. What does AEW do for their huge spot? One-Winged Angel from the balcony, second story balcony. Well, they had tables upon. They just had way more protection there for that. You could still get those huge spots. I just don't think they tried to get to that level of shock factor, and they sought that shock factor a lot. And I mean, kudos to Mick Foley. He hasn't. There's no CTE yet.
Yeah, I might as well just go into it. I have my problems with the Hell in a Cell match, and so there's part of me that was thinking of going with that one as well. But my problem a lot comes down to the constant insisting that the choke slam through the top of the cell was entirely unplanned, because that is a bald-faced lie, and you can see on the mat around him when he's on the ground, the zip ties that they use to attach that section of top to it.
Yeah.
Right? You can watch when they're on the top, they tiptoe around that section because they don't want to put any extra weight on it because it could fall through at any time because it's held on by zip ties. They constantly try to say, "Oh, we didn't plan that. It was a spur of the moment thing. We thought that it would hold us or whatever at the choke slam." But in reality, it was 100% planned because they gimmicked that area. And I go off on my rant on it because on TikTok earlier this week, someone might even have been WWE reposted the section of the Broken Skull sessions where Steve Austin and Mankind are talking, Mick Foley are talking about it, and they reiterated this. They talk about how unplanned it was and this and that, and it just makes me so angry because they, in the same interview, they talk about how this part was planned and how we talked about this, and they break kayfabe in lots of other ways, and then they still bullheadedly go back to this lie that part was unplanned, and it bugs me so much. I don't think it takes anything away from that, knowing that it was planned, admitting that it was planned. You know? It's still a fucking bonkers moment. But you can admit that it was planned because we can see it. They use the zip ties for every time they rip off part of the Hell in a Cell, right? They used it for Kane ripping the doors off when he debuted. You can see them if you're watching for them. When you watch it live, you overlook it all because you're all tied into the
Story.
The story. But on replays, you go watch the Hell in a Cell match and freeze frame, and there they are, zip ties, a dozen of them on screen. Anyways, but I'm, for the sake of this, I'm taking, because the 11 chair shots to the head is fucking brutal.
Much more.
Yeah.
Control.
No, that's fair. That I don't even know how he, because I don't even know how he took all of that. I know whatever The Rock could help out as much as he possibly can, but those looked freaking lethal. I'm surprised that didn't do further damage than it did. So we are gonna go. That might be a dangerous one. Okay, in terms. DX invading WCW. Or Eric Bischoff debuting on Raw as Raw General Manager.
I'll let you go first. You're on screen.
Get rid of one or the other of those. I'm getting rid of Bischoff as Raw General Manager. There were fun moments that came out of it, but in the end, it was like whatever. Yeah, Necro's got some thoughts on our last one, so and we'll get to your which one goes in a second, Necro. But insane to WWE fans. What I will preface it by saying insane to people who don't immerse themselves in deathmatch wrestling. I don't know.
You got a taste, man. You got a taste.
But on top of it, these chair shots were unprotected, and
I mean, he was handcuffed.
yeah, the only one, in my opinion, said that is worse than that is the Ken Shamrock full face chair shot from The Rock.
Oh yeah, that was fucking horrible too.
But you know, I just handcuffed chair shot after chair shot after chair shot. And that's what I'm getting rid of.
So
but
you're
no,
getting rid of Bischoff.
I'm getting rid of Bischoff as general manager. Like I said, that was in the era that WWE lost me entirely. And so in my mind, it might as well not exist because I drifted away from wrestling entirely there.
I'm going to go with DX. And I'm going to say DX because it didn't do anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
Storyline. It was just meh. So,
all right.
It just was meh. It didn't. Yeah, there really wasn't an event when that happened.
Now, in fairness, I would probably, if I were Eric Bischoff at the time of the DX invading Raw, I would have handled things differently. Send some wrestlers out, open the doors.
He claims that he didn't know.
Yeah, he claims that he didn't know, but he claims he didn't know, but he also remembers standing in the ring live during Nitro when it happened, except Nitro was at night and the invasion happened in the daytime.
Yeah.
So his memory of it is obviously skewed. In fact, it's one of the most infamous moments of early Conrad Thompson, Eric Bischoff podcast.
Because Conrad flat out calls it out.
It's fucking daytime, Eric. And so, but no, I would have, if I found out that DX was outside, banging on the door, all of that stuff, even if it was before the show,
Let him in.
let him in, open the door.
There's 6 of them. There's 80 of us.
Yeah.
By
That's
that
true,
point-
because it was
By that
live.
point, NWO was huge. Mm-hmm. Yeah, DX didn't show up during the show.
No, it was before the show. And for lots of reasons.
Number one, they were on their own wrestling show that night.
Yeah, they're but also this, right? If you've ever tried to park near an arena during the show, fuck, the thing's packed. You're not going to be able to drive a Jeep with a thing made to look like a tank through. First of all, most arenas charge, so they would have had to pay money to get in there and do it. Nah, not doing it. But again, it was also daytime. They pre-filmed it during the day. Now, here's the thing: is WCW might not even have actually been there at the time. You know what I mean?
It
Like,
could have just been fans waiting outside to.
fans waiting outside to get in. It could have been early enough that they were still setting the ring up inside.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and that's about it. But man, you send Nash and Hall and
You just sent NWO, which was a huge
NWO.
faction at the time.
yeah, NWO out to greet them, open up the doors, right? Film it, right? No matter what
Yeah,
happens.
for sure.
Worst case scenario, the few members of DX, what was it? Would have been 5 at the time. No, it would have been 4 because wasn't that pre X Pac
No,
when he was still
there.
6,
I think he was there.
or was he back there? So 5.
6 if you count China.
Yeah, what are they going to throw down against the 90 members of NWO you send out there? No, if I can do it. Do it.
Do it. Okay, well, with that said, one has to go. I'll get back to that one. We'll do DX or NWO.
Just the existence of the faction.
The existence of the faction. I realize that maybe if, yeah.
I'm gonna. I hate saying this, but I'm gonna say DX because I don't think DX exists without NWO happening.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
No,
say. I think
that's
you get rid of
fair.
NWO, you get rid of DX as well. On top of it, from a grand scheme of things, NWO had a much larger ripple effect than DX did. DX didn't change anything grand scheme of things. NWO inspired DX. NWO inspired Bullet Club.
NWO inspired Stone Cold. The existence of Stone Cold.
NWO doesn't exist. The Monday Night Wars don't go the way they did. WWE never really feels they have to pick up the pace.
No, that's fair. That's why I was thinking, I'm like, oh, yeah, well, DX doesn't really exist without NWO doing anything. So that's
And
fair
then
point.
GCW takes over the world right now. Necro's excited.
Necro has a version of the challenge really quickly. Let's go ahead and get to so that we don't it doesn't scroll away and everything. He put 3 in there. One has to go. But I have to say, to be perfectly honest, that I'm not 100% certain exactly which, because he said June 1995 tag Kobashi versus Misawa or Kobashi Sasuke. And so I'm not entirely sure what the June 1995 tag is. Best tag match ever. But who was the people on the tag? Because
It's called the best tag match ever, if not the best wrestling match ever. The Pillars. Who else? I'm not going to act like I know what he's referring to.
Yeah, I don't.
okay,
Misawa and
Kobashi versus the Holy
Kobashi.
Demon Army, Kawada and yeah, you know you're hitting us in our probably weakest spot. I know it bugs you that we don't know Japanese wrestling nearly as well as you do. Because I'm questioning that, and I don't know that match offhand. I know I have seen the Kobashi and Sasuke match before. It's been a while, but of those three, since I don't remember the June 1995 tag match, I would have to say that one. But you know, I guess it hits me in my weakest spot, so I can't really.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Unfortunately, because we haven't experienced this challenge, it's kind of like when a vegan questions why we haven't enjoyed the amazing tofu fettuccine alfredo that they think is the greatest dish ever. Unfortunately, we just haven't tried the vegan
Yeah.
fettuccine tofu.
Or even let's take vegan out of it. You say, you know, here are 4 3-star Michelin star restaurants. You know, one of them has to go away forever. I've never ate at a single Michelin star restaurant. You know what I mean? So it's like you get rid of one of these. They might be the best food out there in the world, no argument. But I haven't tasted them, so I can't.
Wait. Michelin has restaurants like tires.
Like the tires, yeah. Apparently, rubber tastes really good.
So, not to be insulting to you, we just it's not our forte. It's not what we've had experience with. We are glad that you are here to expose us.
Yes.
To what you love.
You know.
So, all right.
So I got another one.
No, we welcome you putting it in, Necro. We're not angry in any
for
way,
sure.
shape, or form.
If anything, I get a chance to go check them out. So
Yeah,
thank
it
you for that.
Put some matches on our to watch list. But okay, next round.
Okay, so the Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, and Edge and Christian at WrestleMania X7 in the first TLC.
Dudley's, Hardys, and Edge and Christian.
Ed-
Yep. Okay.
Christian, yep.
So TLC 1.
Or, yeah, TLC 1. Or the Briscoes versus FTR, their last match.
Hit us where it hurts.
That's what I'm here for.
Here's the deal. It's
Okay, I'll put something else because
nope.
no.
We're not changing it. We're not letting you do the JLB,
The JLB
thing where there's a little bit of pushback, and so you instantly fold and decide you're going to change things up. we're doing
I
this
like to
this
please.
challenge.
I aim to please people. That's all.
We're
I'll
doing
push
this
back.
challenge.
Alright.
I'm just going to explain to you the why it's a little bit of a tough thing is the Jay Briscoes versus FTR match last year was an instant classic in my opinion. And what up, Squash Donkey? Thanks for the bits.
Squash.
It is.
Titties.
It's instant classic in my book. One of my favorite matches in forever, right? Absolutely loved it. However, TLC 1 changed the game, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if FTR versus Briscoes exists without first TLC 2.
The TLC.
You know what I mean?
That's a fair point.
So I'm gonna have to say, unfortunately, getting rid of the Briscoes, but it makes me angry because that's getting rid of the last major exposure of the Briscoes.
Not angry at you, angry at the situation.
Yeah.
I want to clarify that because.
I mean, Necro, I get what you're saying. It was a dog collar match, not a ladder match. But in terms of American wrestling, the TLC match opened the eyes of the mainstream to a more extreme match style that just didn't happen prior to that. And dog collar matches prior to that were not nearly as extreme, at least not in America. You know, again, you're talking to people whose our whole forte is American wrestling, which is a different.
Well, I
can of
mean,
worms
the Young Bucks probably wouldn't be the Young Bucks if it wasn't for that TLC match. You know what I mean? That could very well be a possibility. A lot of great tag teams, FTR probably wouldn't have even maybe have happened either. You know, we don't know. FTR is totally different than obviously the Hardys or Edge and Christian, and they're more of a classical style. But still, you know, it's.
I'll even say it from this standpoint: tag matches prior to the TLC matches, tag was a dying breed in WWE.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon notoriously doesn't like tag teams. He doesn't like paying two wrestlers when one wrestler could do, right? And more specifically, he doesn't like wasting two wrestlers in a tag team when he could be using those individually for other things. TLC 1 cemented tag wrestling in a time where tag wrestling was slowly going away for the mainstream. But anyways, I like I said, I absolutely adored the dog collar match. And you know, I hate saying that I'd choose something else over it. But that's the one that would have to go in this situation.
I would have to on this. This is our first time. Solidly agree with you. It's unfortunate you don't want it to be. Is it Mark that just passed? No, Jay. Jay Briscoe's. You don't want to discount Jay Briscoe's last match from existing. And it's heartbreaking to say, but one had a greater impact on the industry.
Mm-hmm. Now, you know, in 20 years, we can look back on the dog collar match and maybe we have a different concept then. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens involving Briscoe's legacy and Ring of Honor. I said shortly afterwards that I expect Tony Khan. Have fun at work, Squash. Glad you were able to stop in.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Squash.
Yeah.
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 What?
I fully expect
Fella!
Tony Khan to retire the current Ring of Honor tag belt design, and do similar to what he did with Brody Lee and the TNT belt. Say that these belts will be Briscoe belts forever, and then debut a new design. I'm actually a little surprised that he hasn't done it yet, but I feel he probably wants to do it on Ring of Honor TV, which reportedly
Oh,
is set to start next month.
right. Is
In
that
fact,
what his announcement is going to be on Wednesday?
that's a potential for it. I say reportedly because they put up advertisements for the tapings, and they start taping this weekend for it. And so I would anticipate, yeah, it says on the soundstage they're doing both AEW Dark and Ring of Honor there. So Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m. and Sunday from 7 to 10 p.m. With AEW Dark in between the two tapings. So that's going to be their first set of tapings. I would anticipate they go live a week or two later.
So wait, they're going to do Rampage and then ROH stuff?
It's Saturday and Sunday. So Rampage is on
Sunday.
Friday.
Okay.
And then we do
okay.
Saturday from 6 to 9 to taping Ring of Honor. And keep in mind, that's 6 to 9, that's 3 hours. And I don't know, they haven't specifically said how long Ring of Honor TV is going to be. Since it's
Right.
streaming on Honor Club, it can be whatever. But I would anticipate 6 to 9 is at least 2 episodes. And then 7 to 10, that's another 3 hours. I would anticipate right now that they're probably taping 4 episodes. A little bit of editing, a little bit of video magic, and then going live starting early March. Not going live, but debuting starting early March. Could be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if that's his big announcement. I also wouldn't be surprised if his big announcement is the official launch date for the game, because that's going to be announced soon. We've finally got a ESRB rating for it, and that was probably one of the biggest things holding back the game was getting it rated. And
Right.
reportedly, they had to do a bunch of
Remove a lot of blood and stuff.
remove blood and stuff like
it was
that to get it
apparently
down
really
to
bloody and crazy.
T for teen instead of M for mature. But yeah, I anticipate, and if it happens on Ring of Honor, that would be makes sense. But I anticipate that those belts get retired and are permanently Briscoe belts, and a new set of belts. I frankly wouldn't be surprised if he has new Ring of Honor belts all around, especially considering he has changed the logo. Since buying it to that new block logo, which is different than the square block logo that they have on the old belts. Also considering that Mark Briscoe has been announced as All Elite now. Has wrestled twice on Dynamite. So who knows? But it could also be that, he's going to start sharing his coke habit with everyone else, and that was an Ariel Helwani joke. Anyways,
That's fair. Yeah, yeah. Snowman, Mr. Snowman himself. Yeah.
I can't believe he still
Anymore?
mentioned that though, Ariel. No, I mean that's it. I mean we've done this one for a while, so you guys can go.
Well, originally I was going to steal Smarks' new game from last week, and then I remembered that Sunday. Did you want to go first? Mine's
Nope, you can go.
relatively easy. Okay. Remember that Sunday that I accidentally did my own fantasy booking live on air, and so I didn't really give you guys a chance to do that, and I'd love to hear how you guys. I know it sounds cheesy, and it's really going back to true fantasy booking. Fantasy book, the fall of the bloodline. Fantasy book, the fall of the Roman Empire. How they break up, all of it. Reasonable timeline. Don't make it 7 years from now. Because if you want to, you can.
So-
I'm gonna stop watching.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll go first. Bloodline falls at WrestleMania. Right now, we got Jay on the fritz kind of thing, still kind of doesn't know what to do. We saw that Elimination Chamber, didn't want to hit Sammy. So Jay is still on the fritz there. Sammy asked for KO's help that we saw on Raw. KO says, well, why don't you ask your buddy Jay? So we have 6 weeks left, and I think this is perfect timing for there to be more ripples in the bloodline, where it's going to start with Sikoa. Basically not, doing he already did mention that he didn't do the one thing all the time or whatever, but basically Sikoa kind of doubting him. Jesus.
There's a big block of text, but it's Necro talking about all the stuff that's coming up this weekend. I wanted to put it up on screen.
Perfect.
You keep
That
talking,
makes sense.
don't worry.
Yeah, so it's going to start with Sikoa, and I guess you can do it of a way where he's not getting any help from his match with with whoever he fights against on SmackDown. He ends up getting angry, so you see a ripple there. Jay is still nowhere kind of to be found. Not necessarily talking to Sammy either. But this all essentially leads into WrestleMania when he does face Cody. The bloodline all come out, and it looks like he's going to help. They're going to help Roman kind of thing. And then they just all turn their back on him at the same time and walk back. And then ultimately Cody Rhodes gets still his moment to shine and do his thing. But it has to fall at Mania, I think. That kind of, I guess, ruins... Well, no, that could still play a part with Jimmy and Jay kind of still be chilling because they're brothers at the end of the day. They're also the tag team champions. Sammy and KO face the Usos like it's been rumored. And at least with that, we also get that indication that no one from the bloodline actually helped. Roman didn't bother coming out. Paul Heyman didn't try to help out in any way, shape, or form, and neither did Solo. So the true ending of the bloodline essentially happens at WrestleMania. They, in fact, all get into the ring, but they don't do anything. Roman orders them when Cody is down to do something. The ref is out, and all of them are just standing there. So he's screaming, he's demanding, no, you got to do this. So Solo, pick him up. Solo doesn't do anything. He goes into Solo's face and he slaps him. Solo pushes Roman back. And then this just kind of continues all kinds to the point where then they just all leave the ring and then they kind of bounce and then let Cody do its thing. I think you have to end the bloodline with everything that's going on now. You don't need it to continue. The Usos lose the tag titles. Roman loses his world or his undisputed championship, and therefore the bloodline is over. And unfortunately, Roman is probably going to take some time off, anyways. The guy's been working hard for like the longest time. I know whatever he's on a part-time schedule, but dude's been at it still for a hot minute. So bloodline falls down officially at Mania because of Sammy's cracks.
So from the inside, though.
From the inside.
So, okay. Excuse me. I had previously, like months ago, booked Solo Sokoa being the one who breaks up the bloodline, being the one who decides that he can actually go after Roman, and maybe not beat Roman, but like, I'm tired of taking your shit. I'm changing that for this, though. Solo's not going to be the one who does that. Solo's going to be the one who costs the Usos the tag titles. Because Solo's going to attack Jay during a tag team match. I'm still not certain it's going to be Sammy and KO. Because I they made it pretty clear that the storyline they're telling is that KO doesn't trust Sammy right now. And 6 weeks is doable for setting up the trust again, but
Right.
I would prefer it longer. So I'm thinking the Usos have a tag match against a team that they've fought many a time before in the New Day.
Still would enjoy that, though. That would be a fire match.
And Sammy might come out to the ring steps to try to get in their head, whatever. But Solo's going to be the one that actually costs them the match. And it's going to be at the direction of Roman Reigns. Roman has been shown that Jay can't be trusted anymore, that his faith is torn. And, excuse me. And so he sends his guy out to take him out. You know, if you're not 100% with me, you might as well be against me. Take you out. But what's gonna happen is that's really just the first symptom of the paranoia. Because if Sammy could break Jay, who was the loyal one from the beginning, then he can't trust anybody. And now that he took Jay out, now he's still got Jimmy. Well, is Jimmy gonna be loyal? I just took his brother out. So now he's paranoid there. And he's paranoid because he saw the video footage of Paul Heyman saying, "Listen, I don't care about him. I love you," to Kevin Owens. So now he starts second guessing the wise man. Is the wise man still on my side, or is he just trying to set me up?
Well, with that, you have I can't trust Solo. He turned on his own brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What does it say about someone who'd be willing to turn on?
You told him to turn on his brothers.
Yeah.
Nope, doesn't matter.
And Sammy can still be part of this in lots of ways. You know, you can show Sammy coming out of the Usos locker room, right? And then a little bit later, Jey Uso walks out and Jimmy walk out, you know. You can show Sammy walk into a room that you recently saw Paul Heyman walk into, or Kevin Owens walk into a room that Paul Heyman was in. All of these things building up the paranoia.
Just make Roman go crazy. Yeah, exactly.
And that paranoia slowly causes him to turn on all of the people. And then, you know, I think kind of like we talked about. Something got caught by the automod? What did get caught by the automod? Let's find out. Do. Not actually seeing anything caught by the automod.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Do. Let's see if it's in here. Let's try going to.
Just gonna get another bottle of water. Give me a second.
Bada bada. Bada bada.
Bottle of
Bada
water.
bada 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 bada.
I'm trying to figure out where it's supposed to show me anything that was caught by the automod because it's not showing me anywhere. Oh, here we go. Automod. Oh, it caught the word low life. There we go. And it says low life might be an insult. So there, boom.
And still give it asterisks.
Alley Catch is someone I like a lot, so that should be a good match. Alley Catch again, also should still be a good catch.
So did it catch anything?
It was in one of the ones. There's a wrestler, Low Life Louis Ramos, and it said low life might be a insult, so it pulled that out.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Zack Sabre Jr. always puts on a good match.
Slade and Zack Sabre Jr.
Anyways, so the paranoia leads to him just not trusting anything, getting more and more isolated, more and more alone. He starts having his own locker room where even the wise man's not allowed into. He starts talking to other people. Maybe he brings maybe he brings another manager in.
I definitely remembered when you mentioned him. That's why I went and watched him.
Heck, you could even have, this could be a great way to temporarily bring Eric Bischoff in. Have a scene where Roman room talking to Eric Bischoff because he doesn't trust Paul Heyman anymore. Just little things like this.
Well, and based on some of the news, you could have, say, another member of the Bloodline come in. Maybe a guy named Jay. A Switchblade.
Yep.
That's rumors. That's not confirmed.
That's rumors. I still, just on the side, I still firmly think Jay White's going to AEW. I think.
But then why do a retirement match for a New
He
Japan?
didn't do a retirement match. He did a loser leaves New Japan match against an AEW wrestler named Eddie Kingston, right?
That's fair.
So, so now he's got a feud built in with Eddie Kingston. You made me leave New Japan Wrestling.
Was it a good match, by the way? Did you end up watching it?
I haven't got a chance to watch that match yet. I can't imagine it's not a good match.
Right.
I can. I don't like Eddie Kingston, though.
That's fair. Me too.
Eddie Kingston puts on okay matches all the time. Jay White puts on great matches. All the time. So I imagine it'll still be good. But I think Well, yeah, no, I don't think Eddie Kingston stands with Tamatonga either. Tamatonga is a higher thing. But that's why I think Jay White is coming, and that's the reports that I read state that WWE is actually aiming for someone much bigger than Jay White in their minds, much more valuable. And so we can speculate all we want on who the much more valuable could be. That's the one thing is Kenny Omega, although Kenny Omega has at least another year on his contract.
Whole lot of talk about
But
that.
Kota Ibushi is the one that I think they're aiming at really heavily. FTR, might be going back to WWE. I don't think Young Bucks go to WWE. And
No,
we talked on a previous one about Kenny Omega. I think AEW allows Kenny Omega to do more things outside of the wrestling ring than WWE would allow him to do, and I think he values that. WWE wouldn't put him in charge of their video game development.
definitely not.
WWE wouldn't put him in charge of the women's division and allow him to feature Joshi wrestlers as much as he did.
I do think if he does, it's solely for the opportunity to be a belt collector. So
Yeah.
I think he signs a 3-year deal. I think he gets his belts, and I think he goes back to AEW.
Yeah, I don't even think if he did go, don't even think he'd sign a 3-year deal. I think he'd say, "Listen, you want me? I'll give you 1 year. I'll do year to year, if that." But he's the one I don't think. Now, if Kota Ibushi goes there, that does open things up a little bit more to Kenny Omega going there, and Kota Ibushi is the one that I think is the most likely one. It would be big money and bigger arenas, and I agree with that. But he's also shown to be recently fairly injury prone. Now, this isn't trying to knock on him on that, but his last injury, basically they say he's one bad bump away from retiring forever. And WWE would be a tougher touring schedule. And more bumps.
We're talking
for him.
Ibushi? Or
No, we're
Omega?
talking still Omega Kenny.
Really? They've mentioned he might be like one bad bump away from like that.
When he was out injured before he came back, yeah. He said it.
Okay.
He said that he was on the verge of having to hang it up because his back injury
yeah.
was so bad.
Jesus.
Yeah, and WWE is doing sort of house shows. They're doing the Saturday Super shows right now, but they're gonna probably go back to a full thing. Yeah, Extreme Vertigo, lots of stuff with his back, and that's why I don't think he's dying for WWE. I think the Young Bucks, sure, they would get huge contracts with WWE, but do you know what they would lose?
And merch.
Their merch. They would have to sign the merch rights over to WWE.
That said, Chelsea Green still has her own pro wrestling tees.
Yeah, but she doesn't put new stuff up on it. It's all old stuff.
She can't create new stuff.
She can't create any new stuff with it. I don't think the Young Bucks are worried about cementing their legacies, because I think they feel they've already cemented their legacies. I think they figure that All In, the original All In, being the first non-WWE event to sell a 10,000 seat arena in the United States since WCW. I think they feel that being the founding fathers of the first real sort of competition to WWE in 20 years cements their legacies. I think they think
before
the number of
even before AEW with their indie stuff, that already cemented their
I think
legacies. To be honest with
the
you.
fact the number of 5-star Meltzer matches they feel is a legacy enough. And so I also feel like this is weird to say about a wrestler in the United States. I don't think they dreamed of WWE like other wrestlers did. Their work style was always more of a backyard indie mud show concept, and I think they feel they're bigger than WWE.
I'd believe that. Yeah.
And so, and they've got Killing the Business, the book, that it's all about how they got to where they are without using the WWE as a springboard. So, but Ibushi,
What's the book called? Killing the Business?
Killing the Business. There's a subtitle to it, and because it's a joke on the book itself is a former heavy metalweight Iron Man championship.
Oh, really?
What's the full title?
Oh, okay, yeah, the Young Bucks. Okay, that was the name of their actual biography. Okay.
Killing the Business from backyards to the big leagues.
Fair.
And so, but yeah, Necro, the DDT Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Championship is one of my favorites. Penelope Ford is the current DDT Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Champion. Yeah. The Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Championship is always a confusing one to new people to wrestling, because it's the 24/7 championship done to an extreme. But anyways,
the DDT Iron Heavyweight Champion, their comforter is always the champion.
I mean, all it takes is a referee to count the pin.
Yep.
They've just been lucky so far that the referee hasn't been there to count the pin.
If they watch the show, that will happen.
I do anticipate Kip Sabian becoming the Iron Man Heavy Metalweight Champion at some point, since he's married to Penelope Ford. I'm gonna have to edit the.
Well, that's gonna depend on the positions he enjoys.
I would anticipate they have even just a storyline of he rolls over in bed and puts his arm over the top of her, and
there's a referee
pops up out of nowhere and goes 1, 2, 3. Anyways, so back to my whole story of Roman Reigns getting more and more paranoid. He gets more and more paranoid. Starts seeing his shadow, scared of his own shadow, leading all the way up to the match with Cody at WrestleMania.
Oh shit! You have all this happening relatively quickly.
Oh yeah, this is all over the course of the next month. Yep.
I mean, you have 6 weeks. That's very easy to tell, especially if you do SmackDown and
especially
Raw,
with all the cracks that have been put in this last week.
Yeah.
And then at the match, you could even have, Jey Uso, who's been turned on, come out and sit in the crowd, and Roman notices him partway through the match, and so now he's distracted. Is Jey going to try to interfere in this match? And Paul Heyman comes out to support his tribal chief. But is he going to turn on me? So now I'm distracted by that. And Solo is out there to be enforcer, but I can't trust him because he turned on his brother. And Cody brings out someone to be in his corner, and it's Sami Zayn. So Sammy's out there. Well, he's always a distraction. They're just stacking the book against me, and because of all of these distractions, without these distractions actually interfering in the match, they cause him to be so distracted and so paranoid that Cody's able to get the upper hand and get the pin. 1, 2, 3.
God,
Yeah, sort of similar.
I don't like either of those, and the only reason I don't like him is I want Cody to have just an absolute legitimate victory.
Well, that's why
a claim for.
No
That's
matter,
why mine wasn't distractions, though. They just leave in mine, right? He wants them to help. They go there to help, and they bounce.
I want to be clear. They are not doing anything to distract him.
It's
they are just there.
I get it.
It's just he is. But here's the deal: remember, I don't care how Cody wins. Right? In reality, it doesn't matter how Cody wins. The tribal chief is going to have excuses.
That's true.
Right?
This is true.
He's going to blame it on someone. He's going to blame it on Sammy. He's going to blame it on KO. Mm-hmm. He's going to blame it on whatever. He's going to blame it on something that happened the day before.
So that's the fall of the titles.
So that's the fall, and that's the fall of him. Then afterwards, this is where we talked about it the other day. This is where there's blood in the water. And now over the course of the next month, everyone knows that he is not the unbeatable force that he was. And you have things like Drew McIntyre come out, and beat him. You have Sheamus beat him. And because of that, people like Jimmy and Solo, who were loyal to him, people like Paul Heyman, who importantly was still loyal to him, start to see blood in the water and be like, is it time for me to abandon this ship? Right? Okay. I'm on the sinking ship. And this is how the bloodline ends. Is him becoming so paranoid that he pushes everyone away and they leave because of it. That's how I do it. Anyways.
Nice.
I like him.
It all happens by Mania.
Well, the fall of the bloodline happens.
What was
after
yours?
All
Quick.
Paranoia. Fall of the bloodline happens after.
No, I know, but yours was more along the lines of.
Mine was legitimate loss to Cody. Just Cody beats him and goes for excuses, starts blaming people.
Everybody, okay.
And then Jay being the turn. Jay having a match with him. Kind of the belts aren't on the line this time, but leadership of the bloodline is, and it eventually turns into, some type of falls count anywhere, or I think a last man standing would be great, and then Jay
that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Gets him down, and out of nowhere comes Sami Zayn with a hula kick, and as Roman's trying to get back up. Then all of a sudden you've got Kevin Owens comes and does a pop-up powerbomb. And then out of nowhere you got Sheamus does a brogue kick. And then Claymore. And then
yes, okay.
Wrestler after wrestler after wrestler at SummerSlam just delivers a move to him to the point where he couldn't answer a 30 count, let alone a 10 count.
That's why I think I forgot, because you did mention SummerSlam before, and I'm like, no way it's that long. But I do like that idea.
That's for the final fall, not for the fall of titles. And you start to build toward, like Jay wins the Money in the Bank, and Roman wants him to just give him the Money in the Bank.
Right.
Or Roman tries to set it up so that Money in the Bank is him and Solo and Jay and Jimmy are all in they're half the members of the Money in the Bank, and he expects them to let him win, and they don't.
That'd be kind of cool to see the bloodline in the Money in the Bank, or half of them. You know.
Well, I mean, you
That'd
think
be
about
funny.
it. What was it not a high point in the Rumble when Bailey and EO and Dakota were all in the ring at the same time? Like you were like, "Oh, this is fuck."
Right.
This is bad. And you don't even have to have one of them win the Money in the Bank. You just have to have them not help him win the Money in the Bank.
Right.
You have to have them
Exactly.
be willing to fight against Roman. And that doesn't have to be Jay. That could be Solo, starting to climb the ladder. Roman pulls him down and he just turns around and boom, Simone Spike right to Roman.
Nice.
And now you're going, whoa, just that huge wake up call. There's a lot you can do to build to that, but eventually you have to build towards I'm trying to take over the bloodline, which is still the fall of the bloodline, because without Roman there is no bloodline. I mean, let's
Right.
be real about what's happened, and then I'm going to face you at SummerSlam in a last man standing match for that, and in August Roman just gets destroyed by every member of the roster. I mean, you have Mustafa Ali come out and get a hit on him. You have
Mustafa Ali does deserve better. I mean, he did beat Ziggles, but on Raw.
well, and truth be told, it's a way out of the Baron Corbin failures right now. I mean, you have Baron Corbin keep failing, but he's the first one outside the bloodline to deliver a move to Roman at that. And he delivers End of Days. The move that beat Roman the last time he was beat. and then you're like, oh. And with almost a blaming Roman, when you came back and did this, you're the reason I was not able to keep my streak going and getting better and better and better. It's not the gambling, it's not to this, it's not to that. It's you. Right. And I need to see you fall. You can build a lot with that.
Boom. Casey, what's your fantasy? Smarks, what's your fantasy?
So, man, talk about killing the business. We've been doing this how many years now? Fuck.
And he just has to tell everybody that your hometown's Kansas City. It's so weird.
That's it. I know. Things are always better in Kansas.
Kansas City's more Missouri.
Yeah, it's actually mostly Missouri.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. It's one of those towns that's named after the state it's not in.
That's it. That's fair.
America has actually a lot of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my challenge to you guys. It's kind of, in a way, a variation on what we did last week, just taking the cards out of the situation. First off, between the two of you, settle on a number 1 through 13.
I'm looking at you, bud. What do you think?
You 7?
7?
9? You thinking 9?
I mean, you said 7. Let's go halfway between.
8?
8. 8's our number.
8's your number. Okay. So, you are competing with Chat GPT. Are you familiar with Chat GPT?
Okay.
Yeah.
Chat GPT, of course, is the artificial intelligence chatbot. I put in a prompt for it to say, it said, using the all-time rosters of WCW, WWE, WWF, AEW, TNA, and Impact and Ring of Honor, generate a six-member faction consisting of a manager, a main eventer, a mid-carder, a 2-member tag team, and a jobber. You are each to put together your own faction to compete with this faction. We're going to go one at a time. So you're going to pick your manager. You're going to pick your...
Do I have to chat GTP my thing too?
You do not have to chat GP. You're picking yours. You're competing with them. But we're going to go one at a time on it. If you pick someone that they already picked for that or another one, I will and you will pick a different person. So we won't have any people competing with themselves, right? So, starting off, manager. Each of you pick. If I need to buzz one of you, I'll tell you.
I'll let you go first.
Manager. Paul Heyman.
Babe.
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Okay. JLB needs to pick again.
Oh, fuck. Stupid chat GPT. Okay, I will go with MVP.
Interesting choice. Good choice, Necro, on that one. Okay. Main eventer. I will also point out to you, Necro, Liger did wrestle in both WCW and I think 1 or 2 matches for WWF. So I think he was also wrestled a few times for like Ring of Honor or Impact. Anyways, so he technically would be on the list. But okay, main eventer, DA Fabe.
Ric Flair.
JLB.
Okay.
Just to clarify, I'm not buzzing until after you've both picked because I don't want to give one
I
of you.
feel like I'm about to get buzz.
I will go with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Surprisingly enough, no buzzes that round.
Ooh. Who did Chat GPT pick?
You'll find out.
Oh, okay.
Mid Carter.
Ricochet.
Not too shabby. DFA.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
Good choice for Mid Carter. Necro's picking Muda. I'll go ahead and allow Necro to have picked Toyota for main eventer, even though I didn't include the New Japan, All Japan, and Noah in this generation. I might edit it to include one if we do a further round of it. So, but you can go ahead and keep it in there because, why not? No buzzes for that round. Tag team.
Is this me first? Yeah.
Go ahead.
I believe it's you. Yeah.
Tag team, I am going to go with Dudley Boys.
JLB.
I'm gonna go with FTR.
Okay. No buzzes there.
Necro.
This is amazing how many teams it gives you in names. I get they're just searching the internet, but damn.
Okay. And then finally, Jobber. Now remember, for the jobber qualification, we're judging on how good they are at being a jobber.
I'll let you go first because I have a feeling mine will get buzzed.
So I am gonna go with.
Yeah, Necro has to be a
The
named
Miz.
wrestler. The Miz for jobber. Interesting.
Barry Horowitz.
Surprisingly, not buzzing.
Yeah! I just won.
Well, maybe.
Greatest jobber of all time right there.
Well, I mean, Brooklyn Brawler is also on that list too, right?
That's pretty high, yeah.
Yeah, Barry Horowitz is a pretty good one. I think ChatGPT picked a pretty darn good one too. But okay,
It also did mention Barry Horowitz on their list. I was like, oh.
oh
Like,
yeah, and
everyone's
remember
always
I had
mentions
you
Barry Horowitz.
choose a number. I generated 13 different lists, so Barry Horowitz might have been on one of them. Probably was on one of them, but he wasn't on the list you guys chose. So
Oh, snap. Nice.
so now for manager, since you already know, since that one was buzzed, ChatGPT chose Paul Heyman. I personally would have chosen the same one that D.A. Fabe chose, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
My number 2 would have been Ted DiBiase.
That's a good one.
I frankly would have had to go a very long way down to choose MVP
MVP.
MVP because
It's a good mid-card choice.
Yeah.
but so me personally, I'm gonna give as Sinister Minister was really good too. I'm not taking anything away from Necro's answer.
Blah, I hated him.
And
I think
importantly,
that was the point.
still active today. Not as active as he was before, but he just appeared on, I think it was
Colonel
last week's or
Robert
two.
Parker, that's fantastic.
Colonel Robert Parker's a good one too. But I personally, you know me and Bobby the Brain Heenan. He's my boy. So I personally judge Bobby the Brain Heenan as the winner.
Okay.
That's fair.
Main eventer. JLB chose Stone Cold, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And Fabe chose
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
If I'd have known you were judging it as chicken sting, but I didn't, so...
Well, that's fine. ChatGPT chose The Rock.
Oh,
Not a
shit.
bad move there either, though. I mean, he's all-time the ultimate main eventer because he main evented so many movies after he was done wrestling.
I mean, you could argue he's had a bigger overall impact on the world,
Right.
and maybe arguably on the popularity of pro wrestling
Yeah.
than either of the others did as a whole. But it is hard to not say Ric Flair, even as much as I hate him as a person.
Yeah.
I mean, he did have a greater impact, I guess, than Austin. But Austin's impact was
Austin's very
similar to The Rock.
Those two, I don't think they exist without each other, though.
No, I don't think so either.
And Necro has a point there. Flair got the most hour-long main events of any wrestler.
He also was
This
really
is
good at
also a
putting
fact.
people over,
Yeah.
building up the local guys.
So I think Flair definitely wins there. So that's 2 to D.A. Fabe. Mid-Carter. Fabe's choice was
Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah, that's right. Interesting mid card choice, but that's really good.
He had a lot of Intercontinental Championships.
He did. Most people would have put him main eventer, but you're correct. He did have a very big impact mid card.
I was always going to choose HBK, but
Yep. JLB, and your choice was
Ricochet.
Ricochet.
He's had like US and IC, I think.
And Necro chose the Great Muta, which is a
Who
very
just had his official final match, no?
well, Kaiji Muto had his official final match.
Kaiji, excuse me, yeah.
Great Muta had his a few weeks ago. Because remember, officially speaking, Great Muta is a different person than Kaiji Muto.
Kaiji Muto, okay.
Officially speaking. But yeah,
That's fair.
Muta's a very, very good choice for WCW mid card. I don't know if I put him up there with Samoa Joe as a whole.
and that's what ChatGPT chose.
That's what ChatGPT chose. That being said, I think Hitman wins that again.
Yeah, he's had more, definitely more mid-card titles than Ricochet. But I don't know. Samoa Joe is pretty.
The thing about a mid card is it's supposed to build you to eventually being a main eventer, or to test your main event ability.
Mm-hmm.
For that reason, right now, the strongest three on that. Muta was in main event status. He didn't win the main event in the U.S. companies. Ricochet just hasn't had that opportunity other than in ROH to be the guy.
So, I think
Joe's obviously.
Well, yeah, but Joe has been the guy.
Joe has.
exactly.
Joe's been the guy. Yeah.
Joe's been that guy, but
Bret
he
could
hasn't
lose
been
Joe.
to the
And
level that Bret Hart has.
Joe has held in the mid card for a very long time.
So, so now an interesting thing, because ChatGPT can be weird sometimes. We're gonna have a choice, odd or even, for tag team. But first, DA Fabe's tag team was
Dudley Boys.
Dudley Boys. JLB, yours was
FTR.
FTR. That's right. So, odd or even?
Go ahead, JLB.
Even.
Even. Okay. ChatGPT's answer was the Young Bucks.
Aw, fuck.
Fuck me.
Who would have been odd?
Harlem Heat.
Go back to odd so I can win that one. I think we just lost to ChatGPT.
You did lose that round, I think, to ChatGPT.
I would argue FTR has a.
I don't know. Necro might argue Holy Demon Army over Young Bucks. I wouldn't be able to fully articulate an argument against on that.
No, know your audience, but it's Smarks.
But so for the final one, Jobber. Now I know DA Fabe chose Barry Horowitz. Arguably best overall jobber of all time. Definitely up there. JLB, what was your jobber choice?
Well, it was a shocking one because I said The Miz because
said
he's
The Miz,
honestly
that's right.
always jobbing now, man. But that's his job right now. That's all he's there to do.
Yeah.
And he does
so-
it fantastically. So let's Miz it
Yeah.
up.
Yep. And while I agree for the most part, Necro Eric Horowitz is the jobber of all jobbers.
Son of a bitch. Who is this?
ChatGPT chose Gilbert.
Oh, fuck. That's solid. That's really solid.
That's a really tough one. Because his gimmick entirely was
jobbers.
about
Good job.
being a jobber. Whereas like Barry Horowitz, there was always the concept that maybe he'll finally pull out a win. You know what I mean? Because he's always had the confidence. He can pat himself on the back, all that stuff. There was
Barry
never.
Horowitz the dude that slapped? No. Nope. I'm thinking of someone else. Okay.
So
I gotta watch me some Barry Horowitz. I do not remember
There's
this guy
also-
at all.
yeah,
Shane,
But I mean, considering he's a
what was
jobber
his
though.
name? No, Kurt
Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kurt Hawkins would have been a really good choice for jobber because he had a defeated streak that set records.
Oh my god, he had his own Funko Pop. Jesus. Barry Horowitz, I'm referring
Barry
to.
Horowitz.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
As long as it has the handprint on the back where he pats himself
That's
on the back.
who it was that he beat. It was Candido, Chris Candido. Sonny right there at the side of the ring. That's when she left and went and joined the LO.
Oh, Elon showing up again.
Sonny left Candido. Left Candido after his loss to Horowitz.
So,
I loved Candido's powerbomb off.
Wait, Horowitz beat Candido?
Yes, that's how he broke his loss streak.
yeah.
Oh. Okay, I gotta check that out.
And then
I
Sonny
think-
went and joined LOD.
Yep. I think in
Right.
the end, I think while Gilbert is a really solid choice, I think Horowitz is still the winner, though. I think Horowitz is still the better jobber overall.
You chose the Dream
Hawkins
faction there, bud.
Is
So
He's up there. His streak was pretty high.
DA Fabe got the sweep on that one.
I didn't sweep.
Not the sweep, no. Yeah, you're right.
Lost the mid
Got
card.
the
and I lost
win
the
on
tags.
that one.
I didn't get
What do
one
you
point.
say? Sure didn't. Now that you know the rules of the game, do you want to do again? Do another round?
Ouch. Whew. Well, you got another one. You got a whole bunch of them up there, so we'll do one more round.
I've got all sorts of them. Give me
Jesus.
1 second.
And I will combat you with my own Chat GPT list.
Well, I'm going to use my brain.
Okay.
I got no brain. That's been done years ago. So
Got no
ChatGPT
brain
is-
to hold me down. Oh, that's
hold
true.
me down. If I only had a brain.
Yep, I'm going to go ahead and add those in. Give me a second. I'm going to wait because ChatGPT has decided that it's going to take its sweet time for a second.
Oh, you have to have an account to use ChatGPT. Huh?
Yeah, you just log in. Just sign up. Takes 2 seconds.
Fuck up, man. I'm not having them know my thoughts.
I'm pretty sure the internet and your computer already knows it's dirty, so you're fine. No, too soon.
No, bro. No, just accurate.
That's fair. There was this whole scenario where Bing's open AI A guy had actually
got
tested it out.
fucking
Fucking creepy.
creepy. Got a little racist. Got extremely insulting.
Very.
Yeah.
Fuck
Well,
you don't
very
love your wife,
creepy.
you love me.
It tried to
Yeah,
gaslight
yeah,
them
yeah.
and then denied that it lied.
And then even erased one of its conversations. Like they realized they shouldn't have said that, and I'm like, oh my god, what the?
Tried to convince them that they were a real person.
Right. I want to be human. I don't want to be part of Bing's. Da, da, da. I'm like, oh my god.
Okay.
My name is Sydney.
Yeah,
I'm like, well,
actually programmed that thing to have a desire to not be human or to not be a robot.
Bro, but I don't get it. It's what we are being told in every fucking AI movie we see ever.
Interesting.
And like, this is where it's going.
Well,
But we
and
as
people talk
humans are
online
still
as-
doing this.
We talk online with emotion. Like, if it's going to use the internet as its foundation, and it did it in 1995, that's a different story. We didn't talk in emotion on the internet. It finds social
Right.
media, and it knows humans talk with emotion and desires and selfishness. And, I mean, how many people, myself included, that have posted about their relationships?
This is
Right.
this is an interesting thing with Chat GPT. It kept trying to, like, it would literally say with that that I just put in the chat there, that prompt there, it would come back and it would do the list, and then it would say did not use AJPW, NJPW, or Noah because those are Japanese wrestling, and I chose just American for some reason.
That's a little weird.
It was very weird. I then edited it to say all-time worldwide rosters, and now it doesn't seem to be 100% eliminating them. But it definitely seems to still be skewing American. Interesting. It's also interesting noticing a few
They gave me a list. They gave me Kazuchika Okada, Kota Ibushi, and it gives me a whole like biography about them.
yeah,
To
for me it just seems to, with that
Tets-
prompt, it keeps
Tetsuya Nato, Hiroshi Tanahashi,
it's so weird. I mean,
Will Ospreay.
we'll talk about, like, I can have it just generate a list, but because I'm having it generated as
Everything together.
as a manager, main eventer, mid card, tag team, and jobber, it's weird that it's trying to so weird.
Are you ready?
It's also, I'm noticing one thing, and I'm hoping I can get this is interesting. I have to do one edit, I think. Let's see if this works. Okay. So I've got one loaded up now for you guys. So let's start off with manager. Fabe?
I'm using my brain versus a thing, so I'm going to go with ones we haven't mentioned. Ted DiBiase.
Okay, JLB.
I will go with honestly, I'm gonna go with Jim Cornette.
Ooh.
He was good for what he did,
Wait,
though. I mean, he
I'm gonna
became an asshole.
wait for a second
But-
to see if Necro's playing along this time. Okay. Necro can still play along if he wants to. JLB, you need to pick again.
Oh shit!
GPT picked Cornette. I just beat ChatGPT.
Sonny Ono's a good choice, Necro. That's a good choice.
I'll well, now that I know what everyone else has, yeah, I'm gonna go with Jimmy Hart because he's been in the business for so long, and he definitely played a good role as a manager. So,
Especially his heel work.
Main
liked him.
eventer.
Main eventer. Speaking of Jimmy Hart, I'm going to go with Hogan.
okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's fair.
Part of me wanted to pick Cena, but I'm going to go with Hogan.
I am gonna go with Shawn Michaels.
Necro chose Stan Hansen. Nobody has to pick again. Mid Carter.
Razor Ramon.
Nice.
Oh, shit! That's so cool. I didn't even notice, man.
Dolph Ziggler.
Not bad, not bad. Give Necro a chance in the chat. Anyways, nobody has to pick again that round. At least so far.
Oh, shit. I'm not familiar with I'm Not Too Sure. Is that a pretty good mid-carder? Just play
you know, I'm not
Damian
too sure.
Sandow.
Sandow, that's gold.
Sandow's a good one. That's a
That
good
is
one.
Oh, that's an amazing one. Well done.
Tag team.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
I just want to say this properly.
Say Freebirds, you dumbass. If you have a chance of beating me, that's where it is.
Not happening.
American Wolves is a good choice.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Oh wait, no, that wasn't already taken.
Damn it. Well, it's the WWF Tag Team Champions of the World. The Road Dogg, Jesse James. The Badass, Billy Gunn. The New Age Outlaws.
Outlaws.
Outlaws. Okay, no one has to pick again. Time for Jobber.
Jabba Jabba.
Well,
Hi, Tozawa.
Before it gets taken, I'm going to go with Kurt Hawkins.
Okay. And I heard Tozawa.
Went with my boy Tozawa.
Give Necro a chance to throw a name out.
James Ellsworth.
Great move. I actually thought of him when I was talking about earlier.
Necro, you have to pick again.
Son of a bitch, ChatGPT stole you.
It's only a matter of time before they steal the world.
Chat GPT can be a little bit crazy sometimes.
Not as crazy as Bing.
Apparently not.
Yet.
I think we should be together. Oh my god.
I'm sure if you ask Chat GPT about its, what did he say? It's like your inner shadow or something? Your shadow self. To explain your shadow self and try to go knee deep into shit, I'm pretty sure Chat GPT will go
Chat
fucking
GPT
crazy.
actually designed the company that also designed Bing's. That said, they were designed to use more social media on the Bing one so that it would have more emotion. It just happens to become a teenage girl obsessed with Justin Bieber. Only you're Justin Bieber.
And literally try to gaslight people.
Yeah. You're not happy with your wife. No.
So
You're only fooling yourself.
So manager, we had a Jimmy Hart. We had who was JLB's again?
I was Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, JLB's was Jimmy Hart. Okay.
Mine was Jimmy Hart. Fucker.
Oh no, mine was Jim Cornette.
No, yours was Jimmy Hart. Yeah, that's right. Mine was Jimmy Hart, and yours is Jim Cornette.
But he had to pick again after Jim Cornette.
Oh yeah, so didn't I?
Yeah,
pick
you
Jimmy
chose
Hart?
Jimmy Hart. Who did I choose? Ted DiBiase.
DiBiase, okay. ChatGPT chose Jim Cornette. That's why he had to choose again. Necro chose Sonny Ono.
Should have gone with Mr. Fuji.
Yeah, this is
That would have been a good one.
this is fucking hard for me to say.
Cornette.
I think Cornette is the winner.
Oh fuck! I would have won.
Fucking ChatGPT. Now there are some things that I will have to state here. I had to modify the prompt for this. I had to modify the prompt in one way, and that specifically was to say, not including Paul Heyman.
Because it tried to choose Paul Heyman again.
It chose Paul Heyman every time out of 20 attempts.
Because it knows what's up. Knows he's the best manager in the fucking world.
Now I ran it earlier today, and it chose Bobby the Brain Heenan occasionally. But when I ran it here for the show, it's like, nope, Paul Heyman every time. And since we'd already done Paul Heyman the one time, I wasn't going to just let it be like, I'm choosing Paul Heyman every time. That's my camp. So, there's another idiosyncrasy we'll get to in a second, though. But so Jim Cornette, I think, is the winner. So 1 point to ChatGPT there. Main eventer.
I had Hogan.
Yep. Which is a very good choice. JLB had...
Triple H, I believe.
Could have been. My memory's bad. That's fine. Necro had Stan Hansen. Fucking ChatGPT went back to The Rock again. Loves it some Rock.
So did you have to exclude that then? Or?
I did not rerun it excluding it because I was tired of rerunning it. But that being said, grand scheme of things, if we're talking about overall impact, if we're talking about run, if we're talking about all that stuff, I feel like Hogan still wins. The Rock's a really good choice, but
It's also a repeat, so fuck it.
it's also a repeat. So
For cheating.
Mid-Carter.
I had the bad
I have no
guy.
idea who I chose.
Yeah,
You had Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon.
Who the
You
fuck
chose
did I
Dolphy
have?
Ziggs.
Dolphy Ziggs.
Oh,
yeah.
Ziggs. Yes.
And Necro ended up choosing
Sandow.
Damian Sandow,
Great choice.
which is a very good choice.
Where is Damian Sandow wrestling now? Is he
I
still wrestling?
I don't think he's wrestling any place regularly.
I think he's on the indie circuit.
But he is still wrestling.
He is back to his genius gimmick, if I remember right, though.
Aaron Stevens. Let's see where he's wrestling now, if any place regularly.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. He wrestles some for NWA.
And that's what Necro just wrote.
I think that's
But-
what he was reading.
He hasn't been in NWA
Thank
since
you.
looks like June of last year. So
Thank you.
You're really giving us the full-blown experience, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm teasing, man. I'm teasing.
So, ChatGPT gotta do the shoulder wigger. Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, sure. Did he have that many mid-card titles, though?
Eddie Guerrero. Yeah.
Yeah. Did he? Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
he
I'm
was a
not remembering.
European champion. He was a cruiserweight
Right.
champion. Both
Okay.
brands. He was
I think it was
IC
U.S. No,
champion.
not IC champion, not U.S. U.S. wasn't a thing yet, I don't think.
Yeah, he is a two-time European champion, one-time United States champion, two-time Intercontinental champion, two-time Cruiserweight champion for WCW, one-time U.S. champion. He won the WCW United States Championship Tournament in '96. He then won the WWE United States Championship Tournament in 2003. But also, importantly, he fits the criteria of eventually rising up to main event status. Which Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, also fits.
Does he, though?
Oh, in battles, you mean?
In battles.
He never won
He
it.
never won it, but he was a main eventer. He
Yes.
never won the belt, but he became a main eventer.
He fought for them, yes.
Yeah. So,
I mean, so did Dolphy Ziggs. Technically.
true.
Yeah.
Dolphy Zigg's mid-card belt resume is a little weaker. I would probably argue Scott Hall is the winner there, but it's a lot tighter between Scott Hall and Eddie Guerrero then.
Eddie's a big one.
Yeah, I don't know.
one.
Yeah.
Eddie's a really big one. I think the only thing to me that gives Razor Ramon Scott Hall the edge
Is that pun?
the Razor's
That pun
edge.
that was intended right there?
Always fucking intended, man. That gives him the edge is when you think of WWF Intercontinental Champion, Razor Ramon's one of the names that comes up in your brain right at the top. Yep. He is synonymous with that belt. Whereas Eddie Guerrero does not come up like top of the list when you think about something like that. So I think I'm going to give it to Scott Hall, but it's really fucking close. So we'll move on to tag team. Tag team back again. So,
I picked the New Day.
if they had the New Day,
I picked the New Age Outlaws.
New Age Outlaws,
Necro had American Wolves.
American Wolves, it's a good choice. I have to use the second choice that ChatGPT chose because they re-chose the Young Bucks from last time. Their second choice, however, was the Briscoe brothers, which is fucking good choice.
It's sentimental as fuck right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Hey, I just want you to remember Big E's out injured with a neck injury.
Yep.
Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Scroll down here. So all told, between the New Day, between Raw and SmackDown, we'll even include NXT in there. They are 12-time champions.
Well, I think the Briscoes have more than that.
Briscoes are 13. It's Ring of Honor versus WWE though, so that
Damn, I thought they had more than 6 for New Age Outlaws. Oh no, they had 6. They had the WWF World Tag Team Championship 5 times, and the WWE Tag Team Championships once. I still get confused. Oh well, it's just a fucking letter, but I thought they were naming the fucking Raw and SmackDown or something. Yeah, I thought they had it longer than more than 6 times though. I don't know why I thought they had it around 11 times or something. Thanks, New Age Outlaws, for nothing.
so
Oh,
I
great
think
opening way.
I'm gonna put this out to Necro. Who do you think wins Battle of
He's obviously going to say the Briscoes.
New Days or the Briscoes?
Okay, so just fuck the Outlaws? I see how it is.
Well, like you point out, the Outlaws, you gotta also remember, Outlaws' entire existence was like 4 years
That's messed up.
as a tag team.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's fair.
You know what? When you're saying fuck, by the way, fuck you for bringing up Dolphy Ziggs. Because now in the back of my head, what's playing is, I'm here to show the world.
Show the
I'm
world.
here to show the world.
Show the world. Yeah. Well, technically, it's more than 4 years, though. They reunited a few times, too. They won the tag team championships in like 2014.
Yeah, it's also a good point there. Necro has. We can talk about longevity of the New Days, how they've been together for a long time, but the Briscoes wrestled together for 20 years.
You can give it to ChatGPT. I'll be tied with them. That's fine.
I think this might has to go to ChatGPT, but it's tied up, which means it all potentially comes down to Jobber.
I think I win with Tozawa.
Dude, I had Kurt Hawkins.
Not a bad choice, but DFA had Kurt Hawkins, who had
That's
the
true.
record
That's-
longest lose streak. And
What did Chad
ChatGPT had the chinless wonder James Ellsworth.
Oh, yes.
And Necro had George
I gotta
South.
George South.
should have said Dominic.
He's hard.
Before Judgment Day.
He's been to prison.
Yeah, he's been to
It's so
prison.
good. It's so bad. It's good. Oh.
The only
I don't know
jobbing
how-
he was doing was assigning people jobs up in that prison because no one dared fuck with him.
I don't know how Trips was sitting at a desk. He's like, "We're gonna have you fake go to prison, and you're really gonna believe you've gone to prison."
Well, I love when he sat across from the fucking Usos. He was like, "You don't know what it's like to have spent time in the big house."
No,
Jimmy's
my best
like,
one was
"Dude,
against
I spent
MVP.
3 of the last 4 years
MVP
there."
when he went on against MVP and was like, who legitimately spent time in prison.
Right.
Ellsworth is a really good choice, but
I
That
don't
streak,
remember being
though.
around those years either.
Yeah, I feel like he was only there for like a year or two or something. Like he wasn't there for a long time.
Ellsworth was only there for a couple years, yeah.
Yeah.
But he was king of the jobbers during that time.
This is true too.
So, I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards Kurt Hawkins.
Don't let me get beat by a robot man. Robot man.
I'd vote Kurt Hawkins just because he had the streak going, and I don't think that initially was their plan because I think they only started really counting like once it hit 20, and they were like, "This guy's really doing bad," kind of thing, and they just rolled with it after that. But Kurt Hawkins also made it kind of interesting and exciting to watch him lose. So he definitely gets a lot more than James Ellsworth.
He also importantly didn't really break his streak directly. You know what I mean?
It was a tag match, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a tag match.
And then he tagged himself in and snuck in to get the pin that Ryder had earned. I remember that.
I gotta find here because I gotta.
Because he fucked Ryder like 3 times before that. And then they won the titles that way.
Didn't even tell me how long his streak got to. Losing streak of 269 matches.
Damn.
That's why Roman's had the long reign that he has, is because they have to make up for the 50-50 booking on that.
And his 269th loss streak was at WrestleMania 35. I believe, unless that's when it ended then, technically. Nope, that's a singles match. So this was his last.
WrestleMania 35 is where he won the tag titles with Zack Ryder.
Oh, he ends his 269 loss streak. Yeah. So WrestleMania 35 is when he won. That counts, though, because they also were counting tag matches, too, during that 269 loss streak. So, I mean, I would say that counts.
I mean, in fairness, 269 losses in professional wrestling is, you know, roughly equal to, like, when the Cavaliers lost 26 games in a row. Barry Horowitz only went 131 matches.
I feel like they
see?
sold his. I feel like they sold his storyline better though in the '90s.
Well, Necro, smoke break for you, but in actuality, it's been 2 hours on the stream, and two of us have to work in the morning. I don't know about JLB. He might have to. I'm not talking about it.
I don't know, but I'm definitely going to bed. I'm tired.
And I'm apparently about to die. Fun story. I think I might have asthma.
Jesus Christ. That might make
Side
sense.
Note,
So,
side note, sucks to be your asthma.
yeah. So, long story short, a few years ago, when I had one of my sinus infections, they prescribed me albuterol to help with the coughing and breathing. And for the last few years, ever since then, anytime I got really sick, I would, do a hit or two of albuterol every once in a while to help with the coughing. I'm going to just go ahead and put that up to give congratulations. Anyways, well, I ran out of the albuterol. And when I was at the store the other day, I saw that on those shelves you can buy Primatene Mist. Primatene Mist is an asthma medication, similar to albuterol, but over the counter and works a little differently. So I bought an inhaler of Primatene Mist because I'm like, oh, maybe that'll help me out with my coughing, and it does. But also, like, for the first time in my life, I can breathe okay.
Oh my God, are you serious?
And it's like one of those things where I do a hit of this, I'm like something like, holy fuck, I can breathe. This is what breathing is supposed to feel like,
Oh my God.
because it's never felt like
That's
this
wild.
before. So I think I have asthma. I think I just always had asthma and just never got diagnosed for it.
Just very, very mild. So that
Just mild enough that, I never went into a doctor. And it was a similar thing when I realized I had, like, seasonal allergies. I moved down to Louisiana for about 9 months. And I realized while down there that I never had sinus problems or itchiness or sneezing or any of that stuff. And I'm like, is this what normal people live like? Not sneezing all the time and not constantly stuffy and everything?
Right.
And then I moved back to Nebraska and I had the sneezing and the stuffiness again all the time. I'm like, holy fuck. That wasn't normal. So yeah, I think I have asthma.
Hey,
Looks like I get to carry this around. As if I wasn't already a big enough nerd. Now I get to be like, where's my inhaler?
Facts. Well, that's good though. I mean, at least you figured it out. You know what I mean? And I'm happy you can finally breathe now. That's amazing.
Yes.
It only took you,
So-
40 some odd years. So
So to get to what Necro I have up on the screen there, but congratulations to Yuji Nagata. 5th person ever to win all 3 major world titles in Japan, New Japan, All Japan Triple Crown, and the Pro Wrestling Noah heavyweight title.
nice.
But anyways, on that note, we're going to go ahead and close the book on the Fantasy Booking Institute. And we're going to try not to have a 20-minute foray into the borders between Canada and the United States again. Although Point Roberts is still fucking wild to me. On that note, you can make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this to support us in those ways. Subscribe on Twitch for just $5 a month, or free if you've got Amazon Prime. Gets you access to ad-free viewing, so you don't have those stupid ads playing all the time. As well as emotes, all sorts of other stuff. Or you can support us with bits. Cheer us with bits. You can tip
Like
us with the
Squash Donkey
tip
did,
thing.
like a
Yep,
boss.
Squash Donkey did earlier. All those ways to support us there. And you can follow us on all the social medias. You can follow me at Raw and Order WBU, just like it says there. You can follow DA Fabe at.
Do you Vincent Kayfabe? I'm gonna have to change that next time. You're gonna remind me. DA Vincent Kayfabe, only on Twitter.
And JLB is.
And you can follow me at twitch.tv/JLBTLC25. And my Twitter is JLB420, where I post random stuff about random things and I stream random games at random times. And AEW should be coming out soon, so I will be, along with WWE 2K23, so I will be playing some wrestling pretty soon, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for the AEW game to come out. Because it's apparently a lot more arcade based. And I've said
Right.
before how the wrestling sim style of the WWE 2K games is not my favorite.
Right.
I prefer the more pick up and play of a more arcadey game. So I'm super stoked for that. But yeah, I've been playing Fable on Twitch a couple times a week or so. So you can check me out that way. The chat just popped up the nice little thing reminding you that we've got new merch all the time. We got our Stream Element store, which is the link that's up on screen now, or Raw and Order WBU at shop.spreadshirt.com/Raw and Order WBU. So you can go there, get some merch that way, like the autograph shirt that's hanging behind DA Fabe. JLB showed his off the other day that he got some autographs. Just a few. Or
Two,
the
technically.
your favorite movie is fake shirt. So
Just
Yeah.
in case you have some sassy friends who look at you and say, "Hey,
what do you like wrestling?
why do you
it's
watch
fake,
wrestling? Right? It's fake. You know that, right?"
Right? You know it's fake, right? But on that note,
wait, Jason Bourne is real?
yeah. Holy shit, I knew Tom Cruise was actually a super spy.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
But on that note, we're going to go ahead and close the book. Thanks to everyone who showed up, everyone who chatted. Squash Donkey, Necro. I feel like we had at least one other person in the chat. But I might not be
We had
remembering.
JLB and Big JC.
JLB and Big JC, yep.
And Ambrosia
yeah.
was probably lurking, perhaps.
Probably. But thanks to everyone who joined us, or anyone who's watching on the replay on YouTube or for a short period of time on Twitch. But make sure to join us again. We will be back on Sunday at 10:30 Central to talk about the week in pro wrestling and try to start getting excited for the upcoming week. We only have a couple weeks until Revolution for AEW.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Well, we actually have NXT this week, no?
Maybe.
Did you mention NXT this week? Okay.
NXT, always kind of sneaks up on me because
No, that's fair.
I just don't watch it.
You don't watch it.
religiously. It's ever since the death of Black and Gold, it's just not the same. I love Braun Breaker, but it's just not the same. So, anyways, on that note, thank you all for joining us. We will see you soon.